It's another late night if you're a Patriots fan, as the Night Owls, as I like to refer to them, in Gerard Mayo and Elliott Wolf are continuing to make moves for the Patriots during free agency, but unlike every other team, they're deciding that they're going to make their moves after dinner time. When we're all getting ready for bed, we're all unwinding. That's when they decide that they are going to make their moves. I said it once, man. I'll say it again. Somebody give me the contact information for the Patriots front office because we are just not on the same schedule and we need to be. But in this one, the Patriots are going to be signing tight end Austin Hooper to a one-year deal. Now, that one-year deal is going to be worth about $3 million, but through incentives, which we know that the Patriots are adding to a lot of their contracts this offseason, it does have the opportunity to get up to about $4.2 million. Day two was very quiet for the Patriots in terms of the legal tampering period. I thought that today was going to be a lot more busy after they didn't really make a bunch of splash moves, any big moves, I would say, on day one. But this signing with Austin Hooper is the biggest move that they made here on day two. So let's break it down. So this is a move that I think makes a lot of sense for the Patriots. And I think it's very clear that they're going to continue to run 12 personnel and 2 tight end sets. For me, the biggest question was going to be, what is this offense going to look like? Look, we've known that the Patriots have loved to run their 2 tight end sets and 12 personnel throughout Bill Belichick's tenure, especially since 2021 when they had Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. Then it was Hunter Henry and Mike Gesicki. The question being, with Belichick out, Gerard Mayo in, and Alex Van Pelt taking over the offense, how is he going to kind of construct this team and construct this offense? I will say that with Alex Van Pelt's offenses over the last few years, especially with the Cleveland Browns, he has liked to utilize his tight ends. They've been a very, very big piece to the way that he likes to run his team. David Njoku had his best season this past season with Alex Van Pelt leading the way. What I will say about this move is that Austin Hooper's playing style is very, very similar to Hunter Henry. It's also very ironic because Hunter Henry was drafted in 2016. He was the first tight end taken off the board in that draft. Austin Hooper was also selected in the 2016 draft. He was the second tight end just behind Hunter Henry being taken off the board at that time by the Atlanta Falcons. Austin Hooper is going to be another big body receiver, a big body target who has a large catch radius, who the best part of his play is going to be as a receiving threat. Now, he is an all-around tight end. I would consider him an all-around tight end because he can block and he can do decent at it. He's fine at it, but he's not going to be great at it. I do still think the Pats are going to need to add a third tight end, and it's going to need to be a guy that can come in and block when the Patriots just strictly need a guy to come in and be a blocker for them on the offensive line. We've known over the last few years the Patriots have been very, very comfortable with rolling with 3 tight ends, especially because of how often they like to run 12 personnel. So I would look for them to still add another guy. That might be Farrell Brown, who also worked under Alex Van Pelt, was with the Patriots last year, or the Patriots could pivot to a guy in the mid to late rounds in the draft who is a little bit more of a blocker and someone that they can develop over time. Now, look, I'm not saying that Austin Hooper is going to come in and be the same player he once was, because during his time, that rookie contract with the Atlanta Falcons, he quickly became one of the best tight ends in the entire National Football League. Throughout that 4-year span he spent with the Atlanta Falcons, he was able to make 2 Pro Bowls. But ever since he left them, he's kind of been a little bit more of a journeyman tight end who has never produced the same and has never been the same. He hasn't been a true number 1 starting tight end since his days in Atlanta. When he was in Atlanta, he played in 59 games, starting in 28 of them, put up 214 catches for 2,244 yards and 16 touchdowns, making the Pro Bowl in back-to-back years in both 2018 and 2019. Now, Austin Hooper was a guy that has been heavily linked back to the Patriots even before free agency started, for the lone fact that he's worked with Alex Van Pelt, Patriots' new offensive coordinator. And every time an offensive coordinator starts in a new place with a new team, he always brings guys with him that he's worked with in the past. So guys like Farrell Brown and Austin Hooper have made a ton of sense. Now, the first year that Austin Hooper went to Cleveland in 2020 just so happened to be the first year that Alex Van Pelt took over as the offensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns. Austin Hooper and Alex Van Pelt worked together both in Cleveland in 2020 and 2021. So they have multiple years of experience together. In 2020, though, that first year together, Austin Hooper put up 70 targets, 46 receptions, 435 yards, 9.5 yards per reception, and 4 touchdowns. In 2021, he played in 16 games. He was targeted 61 times, 38 receptions, 345 yards, 9.1 yards per reception, and 3 touchdowns. After 2021, he hit the open market. He ended up signing with the Tennessee Titans in 2022, in which his production started to rise up a little bit more. He was able to play a full season that year. He was targeted 60 times, 41 receptions, 444 yards, 10.8 yards per reception, and 2 touchdowns. And then unfortunately, this past year with the Raiders, he didn't look so good. He took a pretty big statistical drop off. He played an entire season, started in 9 games, which was more than he did the previous season with the Titans, but was only targeted 31 times, 25 receptions, 234 yards, 0 touchdowns, averaging 9.4 yards per reception. What I will say is that so far throughout his entire career, he has always averaged somewhere between 9 to 10 yards per reception. So that's never dropped off. It's just how much is he going to be utilized with the Patriots? I think that is going to be the biggest question. Again, I ultimately don't think that he is the same player he once was in Atlanta. Obviously, he has a lot of tread on his tires, for lack of better words. But I also think it comes down to how he's been utilized with these different teams. You can't produce if you're not given the opportunity to produce. This past season, he had the second best catch percentage of his entire career. The first one was going all the way back to 2019, when again, he made the Pro Bowl. He was utilized on only 53% of Vegas's offensive snaps this past year. Now, in 2020 with Alex Van Pelt, he was utilized in 78% of their offensive snaps. And then in 2021 with Alex Van Pelt, he was utilized on 68% of their offensive snaps. I would assume that he would probably be utilized somewhere between that 68% to kind of that like 55%. Overall, I don't think that you can go wrong with this signing. I think it definitely has some upside, but at the end of the day, we have to see how much guaranteed money he got. But if the Patriots ultimately want to get out of this contract before the season starts, maybe during roster cutdowns or training camp, and it's just not working out for them, it seems like this is a contract that they ultimately would be able to get out of. But I would expect that he would be on the Patriots active roster this upcoming season, just looking at how the Patriots view their tight ends and looking at how Alex Van Pelt has viewed his tight ends during his time in Cleveland. But what are your guys' thoughts on this move? Make sure you guys let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video, and of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. Appreciate you guys so much for watching. Most importantly, though, never forget, go Pats.